The baggage camel had been bobbing his head to and fro for some time, anxious to get a word in edgeways. Then I heard him say, as he cleared his throat nervously, I have fought a little, but not in the climbing way or that running way. No, now to mention it, said Billy, you don't look as though you're made for climbing or running much. Well, how was it, old hay bales? The proper way, said the camel. We all sat down. Oh, my proper and breastplate, said the troop horse under his breath. Sat down? We sat down, 100 of us, the camel went on. In a big square, the men were piled on our packs and saddles outside the square, and they fired over our backs. The men did, on all sides of the square. What sort of men? Any men that came along? Said the troop horse. They teach us in riding school to lay down and let our masters fire across us, but Dick Cunliffe is the only man I trust to do that. It tickles my grifts, and besides, I can't see with my head on the ground. What does it matter who fires across you? Said the camel. There are plenty of men and plenty of other camels close by, and a great many clouds of smoke. I'm not frightened of that. I just sit still and wait. And yet, said Billy, you dream bad dreams and upset the camp at night. Well, well, before I lie down, not to speak of sitting down, and let a man fire across me, my heels and my head would have something to say to each other. Did you ever hear anything so awful as that? There was a silence, and then one of the guns lifted his big head and said, This is very foolish indeed. There is only one way of fighting. Oh, go on, said Billy. Please don't mind me. I suppose you fellows fight standing on your tails. Only one way, said the two together. They must have been twins. This is that way, to put all 20 yoke of us in the big gun as soon as the two tails trumpets. Two tails is clap slang for elephant. What does two tails trumpet for? Said the young mule. To show that he's not going anywhere nearer to the smoke on the other side. Two Tails is a great coward. Then we tug the big gun all together. Here, hiya, here. We do not climb like cats, nor run like calves. We go across the plain level, 20 yoke of us, till the unyoked again, and we graze while the big guns talk across the plain to some town with mud walls, and pieces of the wall fall out, and the dust goes up through many cattle were coming home. Oh, and you chose that time for grazing, do you? Said the young mule. That time or any other. Eating is always good. We eat till we are yoked up again, and tug the guns back to where the two tails is waiting for us. Sometimes there are big guns in the city that speak back, and some of us are killed, and then there are all more of us grazing who are then left. This is fate, nothing but fate. Nonetheless, Two Tails is a great coward. This is the proper way to fight. We are brothers. Our father was a sacred bull. We have spoken. Well, I certainly learned something tonight, said the troop horse. Do you gentlemen of the screw gun battery feel inclined to eat when you are being fired at with big guns and Two Tails is behind you? About as much as we feel inclined to sit down and let men sprawl over us or run into the people with knives. I never heard such stuff. A mountain ledge, a well-balanced load, a driver you can trust to let you pick out your way. And I'm your mule. But the other things, no, said Billy, with a stamp of his foot. Of course, said the troop horse. Everyone is not made of the same way, and I can quite see that your family on your father's side would fail to understand a great many things. Never you mind my family on my father's side, said Billy angrily. For every mule hates to be reminded the father was a donkey. My father was a southern gentleman, and he could pull down the bite and kick off the rags into the house of any horse he came across. Remember that. Rubbly means wild horse, without any breeding. Imagine the feelings of Sonor of a car horse called her a skate, And can you imagine how the Australian horse felt? I saw the white of his eyes glitter in the dark. See here, you son of the imported Magala, he said between his teeth. I'd have you know that I'm related on my mother's side to Carbine, winner of the Melbourne Cup. And where I come from, we aren't accounted for unaccustomed to begin ridden over rough-shoed by my parrot-mouthed, pig-headed mule in a pop-gun, pea-shooter battery. Are you ready? On your hind legs, squealed Billy. They both reared up, facing each other. I was expecting a furious fight when a gullied, rumbled voice came out of the darkness to the right. Children, what are you fighting about over there? Be quiet. Both beasts dropped down with a snort of disgust. For neither horse nor mule could bear to listen to an elephant's voice. It's Two Tails, said the troop horse. I can't stand him. A tail at each end isn't fair. My feelings exactly, said Billy, crowding into the troop horse for company. We're very alike in some things. I suppose we've inherited them from our mothers, and the troop horse, it's not worth quarrelling about. Hi, Two Tails, are you tied up? Yes, said Two Tails with a laugh, all about his trunk. I'm picketed for the night. I've heard what you fellows have been saying, but don't be afraid, I'm not coming over. Then the camel said, half aloud, Afraid of Two Tails? What nonsense! They went on. We're sorry that you heard, but it is true, Two Tails. Why, are you afraid of the guns when they fire? Well, said Two Tails, rumbling his hind legs against each other, exactly like a little boy saying poetry. I don't know whether you'd understand. We don't, but we have to pull the guns. I know it, and I know that a good deal braver than you think you are. It's different with me. My battery captain called me a Puckamotorus Anconomerus the other day. That's another way of fighting, I suppose, said Billy, who was recovering his spirits. You don't know what that means, of course, but I do. It means bewhittled and between. And that is just where I am. I can see inside my head that will happen when the shells burst. I can, said the troop horse, at least a little bit. I try not to think about it. I can see more than you. I do think about it. And I know there's a great deal of me to take care of. And I know that nobody knows how to cure me when I'm sick. And they can do is stop my driver's pay till I get well. And I can't trust my driver. Ah, said the troop horse, that explains it. I can trust Dick. You could put a whole rigmarole on my back without making me feel any better. I know just enough to be uncomfortable, and not enough to go in spite of it. I trust Dick Cunliffe. We do not understand. I know you don't. I'm not talking to you. I don't know that blood is. We do. It's the red stuff that soaks into the ground and smells. The troop horse gave a kick and bounded and a snort. Don't talk of it, he said. I can smell it now, just thinking of it. It makes me want to run when I haven't for a while. But it's not here, said the camel. Why are you so stupid? It's vile stuff, said Billy. I want to run, but I don't want to talk about it. There you are, said Two Tails, waving his tail to explain. Surely, yes. We have been here all night, said Billy.